People living in small towns. What's the recent scandal? Drama class was interrupted by a cow giving birth in the field across from the school. That's some small town shish tea right there. A pigeon got caught in the supermarket and it made front page of local news website with live updates. I am hollering, live updates. Genuine quotes. 13:30 No word on how the pigeon is getting on. 14:02 Update. A security guard is currently attempting to capture the pigeon with a net, but it isn't going very well. 14:10 Store manager has declined small town newspaper S request for comment. 14:50 Pigeon is freed. In caps. Why did he decline? HAHAHHA. My grandparents' small town has had a recent outbreak of teenagers riding horses through the middle of downtown, while wearing nothing but face masks. It has happened a total of 3 times now. Always different kids. Always different horses. That's so fucking great. Awesome example of small town fun. Those teenagers are gonna tell their kids and grandkids about riding through town naked. I don't know why, but this was the funniest to me. Like, are they going to hold up a stagecoach or some shit? Run like the wind, Bessie. It's the nude bandits. Quote, our newly elected mayor, who is a school teacher as well, caused a head-on car crash injuring 2 small children in the other car. She was found to be drunk and it was 3:30 p.m. on a weekday. The kicker, she wasn't charged with a crime as of yet, but she did resign after considerable thought. Edit. Spelling. Greater than, but she did resign after considerable thought. That's so sweet of her. I left my small town years ago, but I was home over Thanksgiving and got an earful. The local grocery store was renovated, expanded after 30 years, and now everything's moved and you can't find nothing. I was home for 4 days and literally every new social interaction with people in town involved the goddamn grocery store and how awful it is now. Spoiler. It actually looks quite nice and they hang signs over the aisles telling you where things are. You know, like a grocery store. So the scandal is people in your hometown are idiots? They don't like change. We think our prized manatee was killed instead of accidentally drowning. Edit. Of course, one of my highest upvoted comments ever is about a dead manatee. SMH. Thanks for all the silver. Prized manatee. I shit you not, he died on his 69th birthday. RIP. A teacher posted a link to a porn site on his website for classwork instead of the recent assignment, and got fired immediately. Apparently this wasn't his first offense. Edit. Holy cannoli, this blew up. There was a teacher at my middle school when I was younger who was fired for not just watching porn at school, but also accidentally having it open on his computer when he went to project something to a class. I don't know how people can be so stupid. The school gym teacher was fired after being caught masturbating in the equipment room. He was caught by 2 students. A few days later he killed himself. Everyone is a bit shaken up about it. Damn, everything sucks about that. That makes me real sad. Small town shame is a 19-ton hydraulic press. Somebody's been murdering horses and PD is blaming wild boars. But at least a couple of the horses were shot, so, well, if you could keep guns off the street, maybe all these boars wouldn't be packing. Town wanted to decommission the airport. The people did not. The people won. Usually it's the other way around. People buy 20-year-old houses next to a 45-year-old airport, then complain about the noise and petition to get the airport shut down. There's actually a huge amount of funding and research that goes into airport noise abatement. I got my degree in this. It's true. Hella studies are done. Similar note. My mom works in a town council doing development approvals and other building-related stuff. Here's what happens. Once or twice a year some fat Sydney-sider property mogul fuckwit with white shoes and a blue business shirt drives up in Merc and toodles through the town. He sees all this flat, empty land just sitting in the middle of town, doing nothing, right on the river. comes back a few years later, sees it still empty, buys it up for peanuts where he can, then puts in a DA to create HipHop Acres Estates. And the DA comes back with a big fat rejected stamp on it. Flood zone. You see. RARARA bullshit. It was dry as a bone. Hasn't flooded at all. RARA. Fucking council. RAAA. I was here in 2014 and 2016 and it was dry. River was low. 11. Quote. And real estate fuckwit gets absolutely livid. He turns up at council meetings, raises hell, tries to get the local paper involved. Then, of course, as is traditional, lawyers up, and then, fucking see you in court. Council's defense basically involves getting one of their surveyors, environment guys to take the stand in significant flood records and depths for the blocks of land in question. 2011. 1.4 Monsieur 2009. 1.2 Monsieur 2008. 0.9 Monsieur 2000. 1.9 Monsieur 1996. 2.1 Monsieur 1993. 1 Monsieur 1987. 1.3 Monsieur 1980. 0.7 Monsieur 1977. 1.4 Monsieur 1973. 1.4 meters. Thank you, says the judge. We brought records back to 1900. That's fine. Case dismissed. Applicant to pay all costs. Payments to go into the usual town floodplain buying idiot beer fund. A couple months ago someone left their fire pit in their driveway for a few days. They received a mailed letter from an anonymous neighbor shaming them for making the neighborhood look bad. The recipient then posted the letter on the town's Facebook page. People ran with it and created the first annual front yard fire night. The town went with the lowest bidder for a big roadwork contract. And it turns out they were totally unqualified for the job and were messing stuff up. So the town fired them and hired the second lowest bidder. Same thing. They're on their third contractor now, IIRC. And the project, which was supposed to be done this summer, will hopefully be finished sometime next year. Hopefully they finish in time for the Piston Cup. He did what in his cup? The guy that's been trolling our town's community Facebook page finally got banned. Lol. Banned from the Facebook page or driven out and banished from the small town? Oh, we gathered with pitchforks and torches and chased him to the county line. He won't be back. I don't use Facebook though, so I don't know about that. A local police department likes to post wanted pictures on its Facebook page. The other day, I saw one of their shitty wanted postings of some woman who is allegedly evading police for drug charges and intent to distribute. The suspect herself commented on the post and said, "I'm not evading. I'm not on the run. I've been out of town. And when I come back I'm turning myself in." Maybe not a scandal, but I thought that was pretty funny. Our city council just voted to give themselves a 103% raise. Edit. For reference, the pay is low mid 20k currently. The raise puts the pay at 52k. The support is that more people will be able to get into office with the higher pay. And wages were stagnant from many years ago. So instead of the gradual pay increase over those years with cost of living, it's been adjusted to the current market today, resulting in a significant jump. The overall trend from opposers is that they were blindsided and didn't get to vote on it like the last mayor said should happen. The 3% is a nice touch. A nice flair, if you will. Your city council probably just voted themselves out of office. If anyone bangs the drum next election. During my sister's volleyball game, one of the super aggressive sports dads slapped someone else's kid cause apparently she set the ball into a bad positioning, and that caused his daughter to miss the spike. 1. His kid is shit at the game. 2. I played volleyball for a long ass time and my mom sent me footage of the set. She set that ball beautifully for the small league she's in. 3. They won the game, just be happy. The entire community is turned against him right now, and the family of the girl is considering pressing charges, which I feel they should, cause this guy has gotten close to crossing the line before and he needs to be reprimanded for his actions. Edit. A lot of you have commented about how he didn't get his ass beat at the game. No one had the chance because immediately realized he fucked up and ran out to his car. He drove away, leaving his kid to be embarrassed and alone in a court full of people pissed at her dad. One of the nice moms gave her a ride back to her house where she spent the night. And on a happier note, I've just learned from my mom that charges are being pressed, and investigations into the living conditions in his house are being conducted. I'll update when the results come in. Edit 2. The results are in. Not only is he getting punished for slapping another person's child, but because of this incident his home life was looked into and it was found he beat his wife and child. He's now not only going away for aggravated assault, but also child and domestic abuse. His wife is filing for a divorce because in an interview she said she really wanted to for a long time. I was just terrified what he'd do to me. Luckily the woman is getting all the assets and custody of their daughter. I don't know exactly how long his sentence is, but I know he won't be welcome back in our town once he's out. But for now our little town can go back to being happy again. And I think everyone is thankful for that. I think that it'd be appropriate to file something for an adult striking a kid. My small town includes a pretty large zoo, and a tapir has recently escaped and is still at large. This reminds me, once in the city I used to live, a red panda escaped on his first day of being in his new enclosure. It was a big city and all trains were shut down because they thought they had seen him next to the train tracks. Turned out that he was just sleeping in a tree next to the enclosure. I'll never forget the day a tiny little red panda shut down the whole train traffic because he was sleeping in a tree. They did not find the tapir yet? How could you not find a tapir? Edit. Well guys, I learned one thing today. Red pandas love to escape and they're good at it. Dude, in my city 2 capybaras escaped the zoo and were wandering around in a park for over a month. They're now called Bonnie and Clyde. We have a tourist train. Runs from town A to town B. It was a particularly dry summer and the train started a fire that spread over 75,000 acres. The town is now suing the train station for loss of income. As we are a tourist town and our income is solely based off of tourism. And no one wants to go tour a smoky town in Colorado. I'm not sure of the exact number, but I think it's in the ballpark of tens of millions of dollars. The scandal in my town is always the same. Someone is sleeping with someone else's husband, or the 50-year-old dating the 18-year-old. I grew up in a small town. It always amazed me the number of men who were dating their daughter's best friend. Is dating just a classier term for fucking? Yes. I'm now imagining a bunch of dapper-dressed men in monocles sipping tea. Mr. Johnson, I heard you were dating your daughter's best friend. Vanessa, was it? Quote. Oh, why of course Mr. Charles. Our dates are absolutely splendid. Quote. They probably have big tweedly mustaches and laugh like MMM on REHHEHYYYESSSSSSSSSSS. From a small town. My friend's dad ran off with a 16-year-old to a state where they could be legally fucking. His 7 kids were ages 3 to 20. Edit. Yeah, this is still illegal. He was a dumbass. Luckily for him, her parents were shit and didn't report her missing. Not really recent, but the owner of the petting zoo turned out to be a serial murderer and buried 2 corpses under the goat enclosure. A lot of kids volunteered there and walked over them unknowingly. He murdered the couple, and used their house, car and money. Edit. He murdered more people before this couple, that's why I called him a serial killer. How are there not 14 different podcasts on this story? Edit. Silvery Anonymous Love, thanks. There will be soon. His mistake was not using pigs. Be wary of any man who keeps a pig farm. We don't know who, but someone has been going around egging random cars and throwing full water bottles at people's windshields. This happened in my town. A victim got aggressive about it and rammed the kids off the road. Killed monsieur. I knew a kid who tossed a half-full water bottle out the bus window at a moving car coming from the other way. We were on normal roads headed about 55 miles per hour in opposite directions. The whole windshield ended up shattered. The guy called the bus station and eventually got to talk to the kid. That probably had to be the worst ass ripping he had ever received in his life. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.